I think don't ask me what I think first. You let who
to show the evidence of 60 million in 10 years.
then talk. Otherwise, we are actually targeting a formulation. My comments are worthless because in our industry has a bad habit. We like to say how expensive we bought things. It's just the way I got into this. I'm not used to it. We don't do that much after we set up the category. But actually, you can think about it the other way. Why we don't care when our peers say that. We don't care about it. They just want to imply other clients. Look, he gave so much money and you should give more. Look, I took 60 million. Do you think 300 yuan is too much? It just becomes a habit gradually. Everyone boasts about how high their fees are. This is really a bad habit in our industry. But I think smart consumers, you can calculate it in reverse to know. You can say you charge for brand consulting services. You must have earned money from others and you just take a little bit. That is to say, you charge this money. You charge 60 million, you help them earn 600 million, and they give you 60 million. Let's say a little less. You must have helped them earn 300 million, right? They give you 60 million. Is it reasonable? No matter how much you charge, you should say, based on your professional conscience or from a rule, the money you received is the part that helps others earn more, and a small portion of it is given to you. Otherwise, you would be a liar, right? So I think this statement, we should wait for verification before discussing.
Because in my impression, in 2019,
Zibei had already exceeded 6 billion in 2022, 2022. It must be low. Maintain it. It's not bad to maintain. That means until now, it's still over 6 billion yuan. So in this way, you 6 million a year for 10 years. Based on a 5% profit margin, you need to increase 100 million, 20 million in turnover. That's 1.2 billion in 10 years. That means you have to serve them for 10 years. And they are willing to pay you 6 million in 10 years. They should have increased by 10 to 1.2 billion yuan. Just take a look and you'll know. If they didn't increase by 1 billion, right? There are only two possibilities. One is that he has been brainwashed. We should avoid doing this. This is a consulting industry, right? Not a deception. The other possibility is that they don't actually have, they also calculate how much they can earn each year. And they give you some, but in some cases, using some terms to make it look like 60 million yuan to facilitate the consulting firm to say in some occasions that our industry does have, such as enterprises using options or use some more abstract terms, which is valued at so much. Maybe they only give you 2 million and then the value is so much, counting it as 6 million. Then the consulting firm likes to say outside that we charged him 6 million yuan. So this thing, I think if we are going to discuss this matter today, we should wait until it is settled. Wajin really posted it. I said for 10 years, I will be down earth with real money. I paid 6 million yuan. Let's talk about whether it's reasonable. It may be just a statement from a competitor. We took over Zebe in 2022. From the second half of 2022 to the first half of 2023. For about half a year or so, we received 0.6 million in my impression. And it wasn't Zebe Union Village. Actually, when I signed the contract, I took over a snack street. I really wanted to do a snack street. So we had a good conversation with Zebe. We would make a plan for a snack street. But in fact, later, Mr. Jia still felt that. But in the end, this project was in the process of operation. It was turned into a fast food project called Airbun. We only had discussions at the site. We had a heated debate and had a fierce debate. And I didn't go on the opening day of Airbun for my career. This was a setback because I hoped to do what I signed for, or I was sure to make a snack street. But I wasn't sure about making an air film. I really told him repeatedly, I really have no confidence in this. But he insisted on doing the air film. Jia always told us to renew it. Of course, the point is that I didn't go to him because I felt that if I earned his money, I would be a liar. I believe I have helped him make no money. There are some major differences. I think it's hard for us to get results together. So we only cooperated once, which was 2.6 million for half a year in a strict sense, which I really wanted to do a Zibei snack street. Of course, it didn't happen. The project was aborted. Well, I think we should first settle on he received 60 million. Okay, let's assume he really received 60 million. I think I might not be able to make this money. I think you can look up Washin's previous videos. Should have mentioned this matter because when Washin was in the video, he felt very high and mighty. Basically, was he in a high profile state? Well, this is how the industry is. Everyone is desperately trying to raise their worth. It's hard to learn to be humble. I think even if I have such an opportunity, I might not be able to earn that much. You know, my algorithm is like this. If I can help customers make money and he gives me some, I would be very, very happy. Of course, our category can also receive over 1 million, 2 million, or even 3 million. But the premise is that we can really help customers make money and the client is happy. He will share with me. There are companies that have, and the longest one is almost 20 years. The premise is that they have made money and he will share some with us that way. I feel at ease. We make money by technology, not by brainwashing or cheating. Actually, when our contract ended, Mr. Gia did say that it would be continued, but I didn't have the nerve to ask him. I think if it was the previous stage of cooperation has been twisted like this and our values are aligned, I'd better not make this money. It's actually quite good. I think we have been together for 24 years. We were talking about it at dinner the other day. The company has been established for 20 years. It's quite safe. We also know that we only have this skill. Sometimes we can help some clients solve problems and make them more development and profits. And they will give us some, we are happy in content. Customers also respect. We don't feel like we're being called liars or some other words or feel uneasy in our hearts. As a 20-year-old old company and a 24-year-old team, we live a peaceful life. I think the 3 questions you raised are particularly sharp questions. I answered them with my conscience. Actually, when we think you can't help others, you can sincerely advise others. If they don't listen, you just get out of their way.
Right.
You can't walk the path for others, but you should not follow them either. If you disagree with them and you really think it's wrong, just get out of the way. Don't follow the path you think is wrong. May not really earn much money since you insist on holding on to this issue. I can only answer, honestly, I do earn a little, but my happiness index is high. The happiness index is high. Very safe.